Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Chrono Trigger. Last time, we had an eventful day at the Millennial Fair, managing to meet a new friend who called herself Misty. Unfortunately, she ended up getting sucked into a portal into another time, and we followed after her, discovering that she had been mistaken for the local monarch of this region. And due to them calling off the search for the actual queen, our friend Misty has been erased from time itself, since she is actually the descendant of the queen from this era. So yeah, definitely a lot of interesting things have gone down on this game very into the early hours of it. Got ourselves a full adventure dedicated to time travel, and trying to see if we can fix things that have happened throughout time. Definitely a very interesting premise for a game, especially for its time. So yeah, we are joined by our main character, who's canonically named Crono, but I decided to name them after myself, and our buddy Luca, who is a tech genius and the one responsible for kickstarting this whole adventure, because she built the teleporter that sent Misty back in time. Thanks, by the way. Nah, I don't blame Luca for that. It was just a freak accident. But yeah, today we are going to be continuing our adventure to try and save the queen who has gone missing. So, very quickly, I would recommend making sure you're equipped with some potions for the road ahead. Maybe some panaceas, but I don't really see those being too vital going forward. And make sure you're equipped with as good of gear that you can have. We should be pretty good, all things considered. Just looking at our equipment in here. So Luca actually has an item called a sight scope, which allows you to see the HP of the enemies you're facing. Could be quite nice. Could also recommend giving her the headband in order to increase her... just increase speed so that she's able to act faster in battle. Now, we'll keep the sight scope on for the time being, but I feel like we are pretty well equipped for what we're going to be doing here today. Alright, so we searched all over the castle, and we talked to a few of the people in Truce in the last session. And the bridge leading to the south has been destroyed, so there aren't a whole lot of areas that we can go to find the queen, except for one area that we heard a little bit about, which is the Magnolia Cathedral. We did visit this place briefly last time, but there wasn't much that we were able to see here at the moment. Why not say a prayer for yourselves? Yeah, sure thing. Ooh, something shining on the floor. What'd you find? A hairpin? Hey, this is Guardia's royal crest! Oh no, the hot women turned out to be hot monsters! So we got ourselves the Nagamore, which are these snake women who are gonna be very charming, as you can no doubt tell. So we got ourselves a big battle on our hands against these women. Just hit them with everything you got. Not really too concerned about conserving our MP at the moment, so we'll just slash at them. They seem to be especially weak to Luca's flamethrower, so we might just use that against these girls. So they're able to inflict slow on us, which will lower the speed at which our action bar is gonna fill, which isn't really the best for us here. But as long as we are persistent, we should be able to damage them more than they can damage us. Just finish you off with a flamethrower, and we should be good. That takes care of that feisty lady. Phew! Wasn't expecting that. Ah! Lower your guard and you allow the enemy in. You've come to save the Queen? The Fiend's lair lies within, it would seem. Will you accompany me?
You're, Hayden, it's a giant talking frog! You know I can't stand frogs!
I suppose I ought not expect you to trust me, looking as I do. Very well, do as you please, but I must save the Queen.
Wait! You don't seem like a bad frog. I mean, person. What should we do, Hayden? Let's go with the frog. Right. I guess I'll just have to get over my aversions to slimy, moist-skinned creatures. So, what's your name? So now we have the opportunity to give a name to this froggy warrior. So this character is canonically known as Frog. However, I thought we could name him something else. We're gonna call you Wart. Wart will suffice. Alright, nice to meet you, Wart.
And you as well. This room must conceal a hidden passage. Let us search every corner. So yeah, we got ourselves a new companion joining us in the hunt for the Queen. Also, I love the way he moves on the field where he's just hopping after you. It's a very good detail. Yeah, got ourselves quite the interesting fellow here. So Wart is a swordsman, much like Chrono, and he actually comes equipped some really good armor, and he has a power glove to increase his power, which is going to be very nice going forward. I definitely want to go more into his abilities a little bit later. For now, we have the ability to use Slurp, which is a healing attack. Could be pretty good for us in a little bit, but we don't need to worry about that now. So what we need to do is find our way further into the cathedral. So by playing the organ over here, that actually opens the way forward. God, this reminds me a little bit of this one scene in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where you find a hidden chamber inside a chapel that leads to a very interesting portion of the game. It's like right near the end of the game too, so yeah, that's all pretty interesting. Yeah, we got ourselves quite the interesting lair that we have to go through here. So this cathedral's gonna be full of monsters for us to take on. So we're gonna do our best to take these guys out. So we got ourselves some Diablo here, which are these devil-looking guys. Honestly, not too bad, all things considered. They go down in a couple attacks, not too bad. Alright, our level increased, which is real good. We tamed Athenian Water, which, as we learned in one of the previous sessions, can be used to revive party members that have fallen. So that'll be quite nice. Alright, let's see how well our techs are gonna do against these Diablo. So the Cyclone, ooh, that did real good. So Cyclone will just knock him out in one hit. I'm not too concerned about your Slurp, so let's flamethrower this guy. At the very least, we have our health bars on the screen at all times, which will let us know when would be an appropriate time for us to use Warts' Slurp ability. Is that going to be pretty nice? Got to level up on Luca for dealing with that guy. So yeah, this chapel here is definitely a pretty involved dungeon. We got a lot of enemies to fight around here, as well as a lot of secrets that we can find in these hallowed halls. So while we're dealing with the enemies here, let's talk a little bit about our new party member. So Wart could be considered a paladin, which are typically characters that excel at combat as well as supporting their team, as he is a powerful fighter, but he also possesses the ability to heal his allies that have been damaged. So, all in all, just a really cool party member to have in this portion of the game. And obviously, his appearance could be seen as a reference to various fairy tales involving people being transformed into animals. More specifically, the Tale of the Frog Prince. It's got these vipers over here to deal with. I believe these things can poison you, which can be very nasty if they pull that off. So, try to take them out quickly. Got into Fenian water from those guys. Very nice. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of different enemies to deal with around here. So I think just taking these side rooms will typically give us treasure. Blech. Huh? What's with the disguises? Hurry up and change! No need to be walking around like humans in here. So we can see that the enemies around here, they typically disguise themselves as humans in order to roam around the world normally. Ugh, it's almost time for my shift. I hate pretending to be human. They're so smelly and repulsive. It's demeaning. Ugh. Yeah, kind of fun we got a little break room for the monsters. Those ones we ate last time weren't so bad. And those two soldiers we just caught look plump and juicy.
Yaqua's a genius! His plan to imprison the Chancellor and take on his role worked like magic. Now the Queen's ours and the castle's in an uproar! This is rich!
I think I'll pay my respects to the Fiend Lord statue before my shift starts. So now we know what's actually gone on in the plot of this game. So we can also follow this guy over here into this room. Oh, look at these guys. Did you by chance come to say Queveline? Oh, you did! That's good to know. Oh, how good of you to come. I'm sure Yakro will be pleased. Please, pass the time in here with us until he's a chance to come and greet you properly. Oh, you came to rescue me. How kind of you. But I assure you there's no need. The master of this place, Yakra, is so very kind. I decided to stay here. Please, make yourselves at home, too. But yeah, it turns out that the Chancellor that we knew back at the castle was actually the fiend Yakra in disguise. Oh, great Magus, Magus the Great, your eyes are brighter than the stars, your flowing hair like waves atop the sea. Even those miserable sunny days abate when we feel your seething hate. Even brightened halls hold no fear, just so long as you are near. So we got ourselves some monsters here that are praying to this statue of the apparent Fiend Lord. There's not much we can do here, just see these monsters just kind of chilling as they pray to the statue of their lord. Yeah, definitely an interesting thing we've managed to pick up here. So now we got a Guardian Bangle, which will increase our stamina and defense. Ooh, that would be real good. It's kind of like to have extra power on our main character. Also picked up a speed belt. That would also be pretty good to have. You know what, let's put the speed belt on Luca. And Wart's gonna mainly be a support party member, so we'll give you extra stamina with the Guardian Bangle. I feel like that would be a good way to distribute our gear here. Come join us in singing your funeral dirge! Okay, I guess that's it for the prayer. So now we gotta fight the fiends. Shouldn't take too long for us to handle them. Yeah, we took out 3 enemies with a single hit. That just really goes to show how damn good the techs are in this game. Once you got enemies just grouped up, they go down so quickly. The Nagamores definitely have a lot of defense, so you probably want to use Luca's flamethrower to deal with them. Or just hit them enough times, they'll go down eventually.
Don't be in such a hurry to leave. Please take the time to enjoy yourselves with us.
So yeah, definitely a pretty interesting thing having the monsters around here disguising themselves in order to be able to pass off as humans whenever they roam around the kingdom. Definitely shows how much the Fiend Lord's forces have been able to have such... well, they've been able to give so much trouble to the people of Guardia. Alright, Luca's level increased, and Wart learned Slurp Slash. Learn X-Strike Dual Tech. So that's Slurp Slash. So that one will be pretty interesting to use, I believe. Alright, we already checked out the break room, so how about we head this way? Now, of course, whenever you leave a room and come back, enemies will respawn, so that's always something to worry about. Let's go ahead and use X-Strike. So that is a dual tech that combines both Chrono and Warts abilities to be able to really slash into the enemy. Quite nice. And Luca's already looking pretty low on health. Can we heal you up, please? I mean, we could also heal you in between fights. Warts level increased. Very good. We'll definitely want as many levels as we can around here. Just use a potion on Luca to heal you up, and then we'll go checking around here some more. Obtained a hidden Naga bromide. Hey, there's humans in here! Try and steal a bromide, will you? Get 'em! I think a bromide is like a piece of lingerie, so yeah, that's certainly an interesting thing to learn about these particular areas. Anyway, we can also test out the Slurp Slash. It's a pretty standard tech that Wart is able to use. Draws an enemy in and then strikes at them. Very good. So sadly... so we're all out of MP on Chrono, so we're not going to be able to do much attacks. Got a maiden suit, potion, and an ether. You know what? We just picked up an ether. Actually don't know if there's an area coming up where we can heal. If we can find a save point, we could use a shelter. So got the maiden suit. I believe that is equipment that only women can wield. But yeah, if we put that on Luca, that will increase her defense by a lot. So we're definitely going to take that. And then I think the... So no, we also got that... I think that was basically meant to be like a gag with the Naga bromide, so it's not actually an item that we can use. Whatever. It's got some spikes over there guarding that door, but we can grab a steel saber. So that'd be some pretty nice equipment for Chrono. So Chrono and Wart actually use two different types of swords. Chrono typically wields katanas, while Wart will use broadswords. Obtain a strength capsule. Nice. We could definitely use that for our party. Now, who would benefit the most on that strength capsule? Definitely like extra strength on either Chrono or Wart. Yeah, Wart's got 10 strength, so we'll probably want to use that on you. And depending on your playthrough, you can certainly try to min-max your characters in order to get some good results with them. You're humans? They've hidden the queen in the back! Please rescue her! Somewhere within this complex, there's a shrine to the Fiend Lord. I heard there's treasure to be found there as well. So I already managed to get that. So those are the soldiers we heard about that the monsters had captured in order to eat later. Alright, we're not going to have an opportunity to heal in a bit, so we'll just use an Ether on Chrono. Get ourselves some extra MP there. So a neat thing with this game, the fact that enemies appear on the overworld, you're actually able to avoid most battles if you simply don't run into enemies. It can be pretty nice, but for this playthrough, I'm going to try to fight as many enemies as we can. As long as you are good about fighting every single enemy you come across. Gak! Intruders! Stop them! You shouldn't have to worry about needing to grind in this game, which is very nice indeed. So let's do a cyclone on these vipers, and then Wart, you can do a slurp slash on this Diablo, finishing you off. Then Luca, you flamethrower these two. It's very nice that flamethrower is able to strike multiple enemies if they're lined up. Then we'll finish off the last Diablo. Very good. And we get some Athenian water from beating those guys. They got some more snakes to deal with here. Thankfully, they're all grouped together, which will make it really easy for us to strike them dead. With this flamethrower, we should be able to hit 3 in a row. Bam! That is beautiful. I said this before in the last session, but I love the combat in this game. It is so freaking good. The way you're positioning in the battle, as well as where the enemies are, factors in just so well into making such a dynamic battle system for an RPG. So anyway, we managed to find a save point, so I'm gonna go ahead and use that shelter, enabling us to fully replenish our stats. And I'm gonna go ahead and make a spare save file here for this session that we are now in. So probably have some other paths we can take around here. Alright, so that was not a good place. No, stop that, you idiot. I said 1,000,000 times that one's just a decoy. Huh? Sneaking past me, huh? You must really think you're smart. Well, I don't mean to brag. This guy shouldn't take us too long to beat. I forget what the name of those guys are. They just kind of look like dumpling people to me. Head over here, we can find some bats. Alright, we got these two together, so let's cyclone them dead. Really? We missed one? Fine. We can finish them off with Luca and Wart. Or just Luca. That's nice. So we hit that switch. That just causes more bats to appear. Okay, sure. So I think these guys might actually have high evasion, since they are able to evade our attacks pretty easily. Alright, we got them both that time. Very good. And if we get over here, we can see yet another bat as well as these guys. Oh sure, just group yourselves together. That's going to be perfect for me. Oh yeah, those are underlings. Yeah, shouldn't take us too long to deal with these guys. Oh, come on. Another cyclone should finish them off, and then we'll finish off the Mad Bat. Oh, that is beautiful. I just love taking out a whole group of enemies in one blow. It's so good. Obtain the potion and a panacea. Sign, no entry within. It appears that the way forward is around here, but we have to find the path that we need to take. Let's deal with some more of the enemies around here. We should be able to deal with them. I would strike multiple guys with a flamethrower. And then we'll have Wart deal with whoever else is there. Nope. Okay. Alright, they're too far apart for us to cyclone, so... So I love that whenever an enemy gets close to Luca, instead of firing her gun, she just whacks them with a hammer. And it seems like there we learned ourselves a new tech, so now we have Wind Slash, which I believe is a pretty good technique for us to have. Alright, so hitting that switch will lower the spikes, allowing us to go forward. So how about we test out this new move, because it is quite good. So that attack, we fire a ranged attack that can strike multiple enemies in a line. Definitely a good one. We got our level up from that, and Luca learned Hypno Wave. So that is a pretty unique attack that we'll probably demonstrate right here. I love that that underling just goes down the stair railing. It's a Hypno Wave. This attack that allows us to hypnotize enemies, thus putting them to sleep. Can be pretty nice for dealing with certain enemies, though it's not going to be too useful to us here. If you got a big group of enemies, then I would definitely recommend using the Hypno Wave to disable a couple of them. It definitely has its uses, but it's not something I typically use that much in the game. So now we should be able to head over here now that we lower the spikes. We got ourselves a big group to deal with over here. Alright, let's cyclone those two underlings. Then we'll have Wart and Luca handle the small fry down here. Very nice attack there, Wart. Alright, you can flamethrower those two guys. Go ahead. Oh, burn. Yeah, I definitely think Luca's really good here for dealing with enemies, because her flamethrower does a lot. So enemies will have different defenses depending on their type. So some of them will be very resistant to physical attacks, while others will be more resistant to magic attacks. So it's always good to keep that in mind whenever you're facing different enemies. Got an iron sword, so I believe that we can equip to Wart. Definitely an improvement over the bronze sword, because as we all know, the Iron Age came after the Bronze Age. And by playing that organ, I believe that will open up the path forward. We're getting a little bit low here, so how about we use our other shelter? Heal ourselves up, and we should be good for what's ahead. Dealt with all the other enemies we could see around here, so we should be... I just realized there was that chest there we never grabbed. We'll go get it in a bit. It's gonna take us a little while to get over there, especially because the door to the next area is like right there. We'll go grab it soon. Oh, we get a shelter from that chest. So definitely nice that we went and grabbed that in order to refill the shelter that we just used up. Alright, let's head forward. Got some more underlings to dispatch here. So while we're going through this fight, something else I want to mention relating to this game is that there is a certain Chrono Trigger fan project that I am a huge fan for called Chrono Trigger the Musical. It was actually made by the same team that did Undertale the Musical, if you've ever heard of that. And yeah, just a very fine production it is, with retelling the events of this game in the form of a musical. And I really love all the performances that were done for that project, especially in the case of our main character, Frog, as his voice actor, Darby Cubitt, does such a great performance as Frog. And like the first song he ever did for the project is just so good. I love it so much. Another interesting thing relating to Chrono Trigger the musical is that in that project, Chrono is actually able to speak. He never says a single line of dialogue in this game, so it's actually pretty cool getting to hear his perspective on things through the musical. Well, of course, you don't really need me to gush about this right now. It is something we'll probably talk a little bit more about as we're going forward in these streams, because I'm such a fan of that musical. Prepare yourself, Queen Lean! It is time you bid farewell to this world! Huh? You! How did you get in here? Wart! Flee, your majesty! We shall dispatch this fiend! Be careful! So now we found the real queen. And the false chancellor. There's no use in fighting! None of you will leave this place alive! Intolerable frog! Let us see you hop your way out of this! Enough of this chancellor charade! The Chancellor transformed into Yakra! Now it's time for our first boss battle of the game! Yakra has revealed his true form, being this giant cockroach-like monster. So this guy is honestly not too bad. He does have a few qualities that can be a little annoying. Namely, he is able to have a counterattack that can do a lot of damage to you if you're not prepared. Yeah, he'll just bounce around the room, ricochet off the walls, and strike everyone. But we're not going to worry too much about that. So this guy is a bit of a pain, but honestly, shouldn't be too bad. Alright, let's do a fire whirl against him. This should do a lot. Because as we've seen here, enemies have not done very well to fire damage. So now he's going to launch his needle spin attack. That could do a lot of damage to a single party member, so definitely want to watch out for that. He'll also spit out projectiles against you. Goes without saying, but the boss battle music in this game is so good. I love this theme so much. Really gets you pumped for whatever conflict you might be in. Alright, let's go for a slurp on Luca, since you're getting a bit low here. As long as you make good use of your potions, as well as Warts' healing abilities, you should be good. Let's do another flamethrower. We should probably just go with the fire spin. Yeah, wait for you to go up. You can also do an earthquake attack. So yeah, I think his counterattack, he's only able to do it if you strike him from far away. So that could be something to bear in mind here. Wart, you can go ahead and heal yourself because you're getting pretty low. Nope, never mind. We managed to squash Yakra. And with that, we put an end to the false chancellor once and for all. Thank you, Wart. I knew you'd come to rescue me. His Majesty awaits most anxiously. We should return to the castle. I thank you, Hayden and Luca, for all your aid.
And I as well. Please, accompany us to the castle. You'll be most welcome guests.
Love to, but we got some treasure to loot. We get a mid-ether from that chest, and... Ooh, my thanks! That monster stuffed me in there like a sack of coin! Oh, your Majesty! I'm undamaged, as you can see! So with that, we were even able to save the original Chancellor.
Yes, let us be on our way.
You cannot know how I worried Lean. Yakra, that vile beast, impersonating me and kidnapping the Queen. We must institute a stricter criminal justice system in this kingdom to ensure such fiends never threaten the royal family's safety again. I am disgraced. I failed to protect my queen.
Wart!
Well, thanks to our efforts, Queen Lean was finally rescued. We managed to restore this timeline to its proper conclusion. You have my deepest gratitude, Lord Hayden. But I wonder, who then was that girl we found in the canyon?
I'm forever in your debt. Who knows what would have happened to me had you come even a little later than you did. By the way, what became of the girl who was mistaken for me? Oh yeah, I forgot all about Princess Nadia. Hayden, where'd the princess disappear? She may be there now.
Yep, we'll have to head back to back up to the princess's quarters. So, she wasn't a true queen after all. It has been many a day since the king and queen could sit together here. But yeah, thanks to our efforts, the true queen has been found, and peace has been returned to Guardia. For the time being.
She truly was the very image of our queen. The real Queen Lee was somewhere else then. It's just as I thought.
Great number of things changed as the years go by. Oh yeah, this guy's still being a bit sexist. We'll just leave him. There's our girl.
Huh? What happened? Princess Nadia! Hayden! It was awful. I was so afraid. I couldn't see or feel anything, but I knew I was someplace cold. I wonder if that's what it's like to die.
Your Highness,
You came to help me too! Wait, Your Highness? Uh-oh. I guess you guys figured me out, huh? Sorry, Hayden. I didn't mean to trick you. My name is really Nadia. My father's King Guardia the 33rd. I just wanted to go to the fair and have fun like everyone else. But if you'd known who I really was, you wouldn't have shown me around the fair. Would you, Hayden?
Yes, I would have.
No, Hayden. That's why I like you. The real queen's safe, right? Let's go home, Hayden.
Thanks to our efforts, we managed to restore history back to where it once was. And because the queen is now safe, Princess Nadia, aka Misty, is now back.
You must be the real Queen Lean. My, we truly could be twins. You get along well with the king now, you hear, or I'll get angry. Actually, I wouldn't even be able to do that, would I? Huh? Never mind. I just, wish you all the best.
Ah, good, you're safe. Even to look again now, you're the ghostly image of Lean. Your manner, on the other hand, well, never mind a stat. You've done me a great service. If there is aught I might do for you, simply speak it, and it will be done.
Feels good to help out so many people here. My, you could be Queen Lean's twin!
Everyone seems to just keep comparing Misty here to the Queen. And given that they are blood related, I guess that does make sense. So Misty is back into the party, though we don't currently have any techs for her. Might be able to get one. Yeah, in like one more battle we should be able to get her next tech. Oh, look who it is. It was my presence here that endangered the Queen. I can remain at this castle no more. Eek! Indeed, your resemblance to the Queen is uncanny. Hayden, you've the makings of a great swordsman. Maybe frogs aren't so bad after all. Well, it's nice to get over your little prejudice there, Luca. His Majesty should be able to rest more easily now. Queen Leet's presence brightens these halls far more than any torch could hope to do. Henceforth, you may come and go as you please. I envy you even more now. You bested Yakra. That we did. No more shall that overgrown cockroach trouble the good people of Guardia. Alright, there isn't much left for us to do here, so we'll just deal with a couple enemies and make our way back home. Shouldn't take us too long to get there. But after what we just been through, we might want to stop by the inn. So that'd be a good way to recover after that battle we just did. Misty learned Aura, and learn Aura will dual tech. So that is definitely going to be very good, especially because the princess here is going to be a very useful ally to us. So, Misty has the ability Aura, which can be used to restore HP to herself and to allies. Basically, she's kind of the white mage of this game. She doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, but she is great at support. But don't worry, she also will have some more offensive abilities as we advance later in this journey. And gotta grab our obligatory shelter we get at that bush every time we go there. What can I say? It's a very good bush. Alright, let's go stop off at the inn, and then we should be good to head home. Feels nice to have the whole party together, doesn't it? So we also have a new dual tech that we're able to do with both our main character as well as Misty. So this particular dual tech we have is Aura Whirl, which is basically Aura, except it will affect every party member on the field. And to do that, you need to have both Hayden and Misty to have the ability to attack with their attacks. So, there's definitely quite a bit you need to pull off some of these moves, but with the right timing, you should be able to utilize the dual techs very well, like we did against Yakra and his forces. But yeah, we are pretty much done here for the time being. Nothing more for us to do, but to head back where we first ended up in the Middle Ages. Oh, so we got one of these guys of a different color. That is a Fiendillo. Should be a bit stronger than the other enemies we've encountered before. Alright, not too bad, all things considered. We got a potion and an ether from that fight. Could honestly be good to grind against some of the enemies here just to gather some useful items. Because, yeah, you'll definitely want a good supply of healing items for the road ahead. Shouldn't have to worry too much about our bronze equipment at the time being. Oh yeah, I also want to check Misty's gear. We can give her the padded vest. Sure. And of course you have the ribbon, which increases your accuracy. Oh, wonder if we could do something else for you. Not too concerned about your strength. Speed could be really good for you since you are the main healer we're going to be using in this playthrough, so we'll give you that.
So, how do we get home?
Well, Your Highness,
Please, call me Misty!
Well then, Misty, observe.
Whoa! Luca, you're amazing!
Sorry, I should be more humble in front of...
Enough already! I'm a princess, but what's that mean? I can't do anything special.
But you're incredible. I'd trade my name for your genius in a heartbeat.
Well, if you say so.
Anyway, I call these distortions gates. They're basically portals to the same location in a different time. But gates are unstable. That's why they appear and disappear all the time. So I use the principle behind my telepod device to create this gate key. It's what's locking the gate in place. But why did this gate suddenly appear in the first place? Either the telepod had something to do with it, or something else made it.
This is starting to sound complicated. Why don't we head back to our own time for now?
Alright, coming, Hayden? Yes, we will. Also, gotta be impressed with Luca. She only discovered time travel a couple minutes ago, and now she's fully mastered how to open time portals.
Whew! We made it! Hayden, Luca, why don't you come back with me to the castle? It gave me a chance to thank you properly for everything.
I'm really sorry for putting you through all this, Misty.
What are you talking about? It was the most fun I've had in months. And I made new friends too.
Hayden, be a gentleman and take her home. I still need to do a little more snooping into why that gate appeared.
See you again soon, Luca. Well, Hayden, are you ready to escort me home?
So, Luca is going to be leaving our party for the time being. But at the very least, we are back here at the Millennial Fair. So if you want to take the time to do any of the events around here and try to win some of the prizes at Beckler's tent, you can go ahead and do that now. Just want to warn you that there is going to be a point where we're not going to be able to return to the fair for quite a while, so do keep that in mind at the moment. Ooh, we actually have the ability to afford the Silver Sword from Melchior. That would improve our attack power by quite a bit. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and buy this. It's going to increase our stats by quite a bit, so might as well go for it. And we can't buy any weapons for Misty for the time being. But it should be fine. Go ahead and sell the weapons we don't need to get some extra cash. And yeah, might as well sell these since we're not going to be needing them. Alright, so that's it for the gear we can get from Melchior. Damn, it always seems like Green Ambler is the one who wins that race, isn't it? So I believe there is another shop around the fair, but I'm not too worried about visiting there at the moment. We've already seen quite a bit already. And I don't think anything much has changed around town since the last time we were here.
Hello, Hayden.
Hey, Mom, I just had a fun trip to the Middle Ages. No biggie. Maybe we could try visiting Luca's home, and we can actually see that she's here. Reducing the form factor of a bipedal robot without compromising balance is tougher than I thought. Oh, Hayden! Hurry up and escort the princess back to the castle. Yeah, just able to come here and check on Luca and her folks. Pretty nice having this opportunity to do so. We don't see Taban around here. He's probably out somewhere. Luca and Taban are always off tinkering on their latest inventions. Oh, there's Taban.
I brought you this apple with what we earned today.
Oh, you're so thoughtful. So yep, Taban will just come in every once in a while to give his wife a gift. Again, she's not able to leave the home because of her disability.
Oh, Luca's friends.
And yep, Taban will just be down here to talk to us whenever. So now there is some more stuff that we're able to see in the overworld here, but given the current time we are in this session, it'd probably be imperative if we make our way straight to Guardia Castle for the next couple of events that are going to happen. So, let's go make our way to Guardia Forest. This is the same Guardia Forest that we previously saw back in the Middle Ages. But now time has passed, and so we have some new enemies around here, like Amanitas. Just these big mushroom guys that we gotta worry about. They're not too bad, all things considered. Also, I love the fact these guys just have their tongues sticking out. Like, such silly goobers they are. I love the enemy designs in this game so much. It's like, obviously, the art director for Chrono Trigger was Akira Toriyama, who tragically passed away a couple years ago. But his influence over this series, as well as just so many different games, it just really means a lot. You're just such an important figure in the world of gaming. Through series like Dragon Quest and a lot of others. Let's got ourselves some bugs that we can fight over here. I don't think these guys are really that bad. Yeah, a simple hit from Misty's crossbow was able to take those guys out. So they really aren't all that tough. But yeah, definitely look around the forest, because you never know when you might encounter some secrets around here. Ooh, nice. We got a critical hit that time. The game also has some very nice sound design when it comes to your actions. Like, you can always tell just from the sound effects whether an attack is going to be a critical hit on an enemy. Just so satisfying whenever you hear that extra sound effect. It's so good. Seems like there's something over here. Yeah, we can find a strength capsule over this way. Now, we don't need to worry about strength on Misty here, so we're gonna be giving that to our main guy. So that mid-ether we picked up before, so that should restore 30 MP. So yeah, definitely be a good idea to stockpile on those, because those are going to be really useful later on. For the record, I believe the max amount of MP you can have on a character is 99. So it's not like a Final Fantasy game where you're just easily able to stack up a ton of different stats. But yeah, the Scarabs over here shouldn't be too bad. And then we got Ding-a-Lang. Just such a great name for an enemy. So that thing can inflict Confuse. We can take this opportunity just to try and... Yeah, I don't think we're going to actually attack our allies in order to rid them of confusion. It's a Gilded Bellbird, actually. Ding-a-ling was the name of the attack it did. Whatever. Yeah, those guys can be a little annoying because they can summon enemies to their aid. But all in all, they're not too bad. You're actually looking a bit hurt there, Misty. Go ahead and use Aura. She's just gonna stand here and Aura farm. God, what an interesting term that is. I've seen a lot of interesting terminology over the last couple of years relating to a lot of different things. And I definitely like aura farming as just a general term for someone just standing around looking really, really cool. Guardia Castle, no trespassing. That sign can't stop me because I can't read. Open glade ahead. If we go over here, we can find just this little space over here with not much to it, except for a black box that we saw before. So I wonder if that has anything to do with the black box we saw in the forest back in the Middle Ages. But anyway, we managed to make it to the castle. So it's time to bring Misty home. Princess Nadia! Are you alright? Where on earth have you been? We heard you were abducted! We had soldiers combing the entire kingdom for you! You, back there! You're the one, aren't you? Thought you'd kidnap the princess! No, Hayden only! Seize him! Seize the filthy terrorist! He deceived our princess and plotted to overthrow the crown! No! No, you mustn't! Oh boy. Stop this right now! What are you fools doing? But Her Highness the Princess said... It doesn't matter what she said! Seize him! Hayden! Oh boy. I, your Chancellor, shall serve as prosecutor. I, Pierre, represent the defense. Members of the court, I will now bring forth the defendant, Hayden, who is charged with the abduction of Princess Nadia. What shall be his fate? To burn at the stake, perhaps? To feel the tickler, or hang upside down? Or shall we employ the guillotine? This guy seemed pretty bloodthirsty. The choice is yours, good jurors. Now, let us begin. We shall first hear the testimony of the defense. Hayden is charged with premeditated abduction of royalty. The question is, how could he be guilty of a crime that never occurred? The prosecution would have you believe that the defendant kidnapped the princess. However, the truth is quite the contrary. Not only was their meeting a coincidence, but it was the princess herself who asked Hayden if she could join him. Is this true? Who was responsible for initiating contact? Misty was. Are you so certain? Our witnesses say that you were the one who bumped into the princess. Oh, I guess that did happen. Ouch! Having subdued the princess, the defendant had coerced her into visiting Luca's little sideshow. There were countless witnesses to this. Shortly thereafter, both the princess and the defendant vanished. If that is not criminal abduction, I don't know what is. Several other acts have also been brought to my attention that call the defendant's character into question. Objection! This cannot possibly have any relevance to the case. Care to respond, Chancellor? Hayden's character is at the very core of this case, Your Honor. This evidence will show that his testimony cannot be trusted. Very well, we have nothing to hide. I would like to call a witness who can vouch for the defendant's good character. Hey, it's the little girl. That man brought me my kitty back! Thank you, mister! So because we helped bring the girl her cat back, she actually comes to our defense here in court. How about that? The man before you is a fine, upstanding youth. He deserves to be honored, not put on trial. Whew, looks like they're buying it. Have you ever stolen anything? No, never. Do not feign innocence. We have a witness. Oh, boy.
That's him! That's the thief who ate my lunch! Right off the table, too! My dear wife worked all morning to make that meal for me!
So yeah, the various events you're able to do at the Millennial Fair actually factor into this trial scene. So if you don't steal that guy's lunch, he won't be brought in to accuse you. Stealing from a helpless, hard-working citizen who only wished to enjoy the fair. How could anyone sympathize with such a ruffian? The real issue here is motive. Was there any motive for this good youth to kidnap Princess Nadia? No, there was none. Pardon me, but I believe the motive was quite clear. Greed. Her fortune did tempt you, did it not, Hayden? No. Are you sure you weren't in the least bit tempted? Not at all. Good people, please remember that the defendant claims he had no interest whatsoever in the princess's wealth. Allow me to introduce our next witness. I saw it with my own eyes. Dear me, I'm so nervous. He tried to sell it to a merchant named Melchior. All I wanted to do was to see this guy's dialogue. How is that a crime? Oh, is that all? I can go now? Goodbye, everyone. Nothing more, Your Honor. The prosecution rests.
Members of the jury, it's time for a verdict. If you believe the defendant guilty, stand to the left. Innocent, to the right. Guilty! Guilty!
So yeah, the various events you're able to do at the Millennial Fair will affect your verdict at the court.
Not guilty!
Not guilty!
Not guilty! Guilty!
Guilty! Oh, this doesn't look good for us.
Order in the court! A verdict has been reached. The defendant has been found guilty as charged. He is to be placed in solitary confinement for a period of 3 days, after which he will be executed for his crime.
Take him away! Stop! Princess Nadia!
That's quite enough, young lady.
But father!
All I asked was for you to remain at the castle and behave like a princess. What's done is done. Even royalty must obey the laws of the land. Leave the rest up to the Chancellor and forget about your little escapade in town. We are through here.
Hayden! See, even if you are found not guilty, you will still be led to the dungeon anyway. So it's kind of an interesting thing here. This man is a seditionist who meant to overthrow our kingdom. He has been found guilty by trial. I trust him to your care.
So, this is the monster who abducted the princess.
His execution is 3 days hence. See that he's still here to attend it.
Yes, sir. Guards! Take the prisoner away.
Ouch! If you are found not guilty, then the warden will have pause to your sentencing before being convinced by the Chancellor to go through with it. But yep, we have now been thrown into prison. We have a save point here we can use if you'd like. We're completely on our own without Misty or Luca to help us. You can restore your HP and MP at that mug. Pipe down, you! Pipe down, you! Oh, how many times do I have to tell that filthy? If he won't quiet down, I'll quiet him down. Open the door. Ow! That's what you get for not doing what you're told. Bonk! Ugh. Where do you think you're going? So now we got ourselves some royal guards to deal with. So instead of trying to escape the cell, you can actually stay there for a couple minutes, and eventually the days will pass until you are finally come time for your sentencing. But we don't need to worry about that here. If we pull that switch, the door will not open all the way, so we can't go any further. However, there's nothing more for us to do but try to escape with our lives. There's a lot of different paths we can take around the Guardia Castle dungeons. You can explore this place as much as you want. Just deal with any guards you can find around here. And open up a lot of different pathways. We can go into this secluded area where we can find a bunch of treasure, like mid-potions. So those are going to be real good for us. So I believe mid-potions will restore 200 HP. So yeah, that is very good. We don't even have 200 HP, so very nice that we were able to find that here. Uh-oh, here comes another one. So, you're the one's gone and slipped his cell, eh? This guy looks a lot beefier. So let's go for a cyclone and try to take out as much health as we can here. I believe this guy is the Gowler. It's quite an interesting term. I never quite heard what a Gowl was until way later. But yeah, it's a pretty cool title. They don't pay me enough for this. But if you beat that guy back, you can get yourselves some good rewards. Also, Chrono's a good boy. He's not killing the guards, just driving them away or knocking them out. So we got these fellows here with the shields that we got to deal with. So these are sentries. So in their current form, you are not able to attack them. You have to wait until they lower their shield to try and get a glimpse at you, and then you can strike them. I love how they're just constantly in shadow the entire time, so you can never quite tell what they're supposed to be. But after dispatching with those guys, we can move forward. There are a lot of different paths we can take around the dungeon. There he is! So you feel free to take whatever path you feel is right for you in whatever given moment. We're going to try to explore this area as much as we can, just to get as much loot that we can find. Also, I love this sequence where you're just caught by enemies on the bridge in a pincer formation, and then you have to deal with them in order to get through. Definitely a very cool set piece here. Oop. It's got those enemies to deal with. So I'm thinking that there's something that we missed by not taking the other path over here. Luckily, the enemies around here don't respawn, so we don't have to worry about that. So we pull that switch, we can head over here. Whoa! Ah! It's Mr. Bones! So this Lancer is apparently the skeleton of some poor soul who ended up getting imprisoned here in the castle and was eventually left for dead. Pretty sad, really. So there's another path that we cannot go through there, but it does look like there's something we'll eventually be able to see. So that's everything over in that end. We could head back to our cell to heal up, but I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. Besides, we're going to be back in that area later anyway. So over here, we got some guards. You want to very carefully wait for them to turn around, and then bonk them right in the back. That's how you're able to deal with these guys. Just wait for them to turn, and you should be good. Bonk! Thank you, sir. And we'll pull that lever. We can head over here. Whoa, this guy is not in a good position. Help me, please! Yeah, we'll free him from the guillotine. Thank you! That was close! I'm Fritz. My father runs the market in Truce. Stop by if you're ever in the area. So this is a area where you have a moral choice that you're able to do. If you save Fritz here, then he will return to the shop in Truce. However, if you leave him here, then he will never return to the market in Truce, and it's assumed that he is executed. Quite the grim fate for him, really. Pick up some bronze armor. We already have that on Chrono, so we don't need to worry about this. We got some more skelemen to deal with. Ow. There's not much we gotta worry about these guys. They go down pretty easily. Especially since we picked up that sword from Melchior. So yeah, that whole trial scene that we went through earlier, definitely a very cool and iconic moment from this game that really emphasizes how your choices in this adventure matter a lot against the various things that you encounter. And it's pretty fitting that I am going through a game that features a jail sequence here, considering... So before I started streaming Chrono Trigger on this channel, I was forced to take a week break from streaming because I was actually assigned to jury duty, and so I had to take care of that before I could resume my obligations here. Which is definitely pretty an interesting experience, all things considered. It's definitely something I don't want to have to do again anytime soon, but, you know, it's interesting to do once. Ooh. Poor guy. We didn't get to him in time. Now he's just bones. Alright, let's deal with these shield guys. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience getting to do jury duty. It's actually funny, my brother was also called for the selection that we had to do at the courthouse, but I was the one who ended up being called to actually go into jury duty. So, yeah, it was definitely an interesting experience. Definitely pretty cool to actually get to do that for once in my life. Even if it's something I definitely do not want to do again anytime soon. So we can close that gate over there. Pretty much no reason for us to do so. But if we head over here, we got ourselves a little wall that we can go into, giving us an opportunity to climb along the exterior of this tower. And we're able to head into this cell to get a shelter, and then we can jump down this hole here. And that takes us into this room right beside our cell, getting us 1500 G. God, that's good. And a silver sword. Oh, that means I didn't have to buy the one from Melchior. Damn it, game. Oh well, at least I can sell this. We should get some good profit from it at least. Yep, that's what we're able to do over here. It's a nice little side area you can go to in order to get yourself some additional items. I definitely appreciate that. It's quite the nice little detour on our road to escape. But yeah, we should be good to keep going forward. There he is! Alright, we should be able to cyclone these guys. Sorry about this! I know you're only doing your job, but I really don't want to die. Whew! That was good. And there's the warden. Somebody help! Oh!
Hey, it's Luca! Hayden, I came to rescue you! Oh, looks like you didn't need my help after all. Oh well. Well, we better not stick around too long. Let's go!
It's very nice that Luca was able to reunite with us here, cause, yeah, we definitely have a lot we gotta deal with as we advance further in here. So, like I said before, you could actually wait around in your jail cell awaiting your execution. And if you decide to go that route, as you're led to the guillotine, Luca will suddenly burst through the door, attack the guards, and help free you. At which point, she will then accompany you throughout the rest of the dungeon sequence. It's pretty cool if you decide to go that route, having an additional party member to help you out here. But it's still cool just have Chrono try and break out himself. But anyway, there's a paper we can read here. A classified document's been left lying on the floor. Read it. Dragon Tank Design Specifications. Attention, Warden of the Guardia Castle Prisons. The head of the tank is equipped with a capacity to repair damage done to the body, an ingenious marvel of engineering. The head's also been enhanced with a shield to prevent damage by lightning and fire, leaving it vulnerable only to attacks with weapons such as swords and pistols. In short, your tank should be effectively invincible, provided no crazy lunatic gets the bright idea to run up and try to hack away at its head with a sword. That seems like a good piece of advice there, wouldn't you say? But yep, we are almost home free here. Just gotta head across the bridge and we should be back at the main castle. Oh, what now?
What was that?
I think we're about to find out, Luca. So this must be the dragon tank we heard about.
Forward, dragon tank! Crush those conspirators!
So got ourselves a new boss here, the dragon tank. As the paper said, you want to strike this thing first with the head. Otherwise, it will just repair the damage to the rest of the body. Just keep striking it with your sword and with your blaster, and you should be good. As long as you keep up the damage, it should go down. So it will try to just ram into you to damage. Actually did quite a bit. Probably want to heal up after we take care of the head. It can also breathe fire on you, which sucks. And it will also shoot missiles at us. Yeah, thanks for that, game. Yeah, this thing is just brutal with the amount of attacks it's got at its disposal. But I mean, it's meant to be the ultimate weapon in order to stop any sort of intruders. The wheels are storing energy for a charge. So we'll probably want to take out the wheels next. Otherwise, this thing will do a lot of damage to us. It's a good idea to have one character focus on healing and the other focus on damage. So we're probably going to have Chrono just dealing damage at the moment while Luca does support for the time being. Ow. So we'll definitely want to take out the wheels. Otherwise, this thing is going to be doing charge attack after charge attack, and that's not going to be good for us. We'll just have Luca do potions while Chrono focuses on the main tank. Alright, we've taken care of the wheels, so it's not going to be able to ram into us. But it's still got quite a few different methods of attack we got to deal with. So now we just need to strike the main body, and then we should be good. Oh, there we go. We actually defeated the dragon tank. Pretty simple boss, all things considered. But it does educate you that some boss fights will need you to attack certain parts of them in sequence. Also, that's cool, showing Chrono finishing off the tank after the battle proper. My dragon tank! Fix it, quickly! Ooh!
Ah! Don't fool yourselves into thinking you'll get away with this!
Oh, I'm gonna fool myself, alright. Ooh, a shelter. I'll take that. Gotta go ahead and loot this castle. Not like we're gonna be here anytime soon after what we just went through. They're escaping! We got no choice. We'll just have to try to plow through. No thank you. I do not consent to this. They're escaping! Oh boy. Stop that right now! Princess Nadia! Wow, she really cleaned up nicely. That man is my friend, and you will treat him as such. But, Your Highness... You refuse to obey my orders? No, forgive me, my lady. Hold it right there. On your knees! His Grace King Guardia the 33rd comes before you! Oh, dear. Father! Silence, Nadia! Your duties come before your whims. You are a princess before all else. No, I'm not! I'm a person first and princess second! All of these little excursions of yours outside the castle seem to be having a bad influence on you. It's not influence, it's common sense! Nadia! I can't live in this stupid castle anymore! I'm leaving! Princess Nadia! Come on, Hayden! Don't just stand there! After them! Oh, Nadia. There they are! Don't lose them! Oh, this is bad. There's nowhere left to run. Come along quietly. No, thank you. They blocked the only exit to us. Ooh. Looks like a dead end. A gate. Come on! Come on! We have no idea where it'll take us! We might not even be able to get back! Who cares? Anywhere's better than here! Princess Nadia! This is totally irrational, you know? Hurry, Hayden! Mean there's nowhere else for us to go. They blocked off our only other exit. Let's time to see where time takes us. They disappeared! So long, bozo! Yeek! Ow! There's no way the Chancellor can get us here. But where are we? The civilization here seems pretty advanced. It almost looks like we're in another world. A curious crest is engraved here, and a mysterious force seals it shut. So there's not much we can do about that. If we try to head back through the time rift... We're back here in the forest. And if we try to leave... There they are! Don't lose them! Yep, if we try to go back into the forest, the soldiers are just gonna corner us again. So there really is nowhere else we can go. We have to take the time rift out of here. Fine. So, it seems like we're stuck here in this time, whenever it is. Oh. This doesn't look too good. Things look a whole lot worse than they were back in our time as well as the Middle Ages. I guess there's nothing more for us to do but to try to venture forward through here. But we're getting a bit late into this session, so I think we're gonna call things here. We managed to get a lot done, managing to defeat Yakra and save the Queen, thus enabling us to save Misty. And we were put on trial for the crime of abducting the princess, and managed to escape here to this weird new world. So thank you for joining me in this leg of our Chrono Trigger playthrough. Next time we will see what we can find here in this strange land. Until next time, have a good day, and take care, everyone.